Dude, so for cars, I have 3 cars. I have the 2005 Mazda Tribute. That is my winter SUV slash probably travel vehicle. It's got a 3.0 V6 in it. It's got about 150,000 miles on it. I traded that BMW for it from a good buddy of mine that owns a dealership. He only made me charge like tax and some dock fee, so about 200 bucks. She was out the door with me. It is blue. It's this weird stock blue. Stock tires, really good looking tires. It had really good tread left on them. The interior was okay, but I detailed the shit out of them the other day. This is why we need some mats, because this was clean the other day. It's just me stepping in this and gravel. But otherwise, this side was completely caked in just loads of cow manure. And now I can run my hand through that carpet and not even be scared. Otherwise, this is a really nice car. So we added this defroster button for a function later. The defroster button, it just fits in that hole from a different one. We're gonna take the defroster logo off. There's the exhaust cutout switch that fit really nice in that hole. So once we get the cutout wired up, we have a C-Cane Android radio that fits quite nicely in that spot. Honestly, we've been reviewing the C-Cane radio. I got it for $87, and it's an Android unit. And we're having some issues getting it all set up and prepped. It works. It's not very fast. It's not exactly the best Android radio, so maybe we'll go with a different company, but it is not that bad. Things that need done, it needs a new sun visor. This needs to be fixed. Like, I shouldn't even be able to do that. My foot's not even on the brake, so we need to fix that. I added this USB port in the place of this, and it even has a gauge to tell me my battery life. So that's kind of cool. This will end up being pulled out to be a panel. So I'm gonna have a panel down here for stuff. Probably the push button start when I get it. So a push button start here. And maybe, just put in some, I'm not quite completely sure. So I'm still kind of working on that one. But we're gonna be putting a center console up here. This console is completely useless. We're not doing anything with it. But it's got some really good mount points, as well as this one back here. So we're gonna end up building a console that goes all the way along here with wood, a nice square console, and we're gonna end up putting a CB and all the switch panels for all the lights and stuff. So it'll be switches and then a CB here, maybe some extra storage like a flashlight mount. These lights will also be incorporated in there. So I should be able to install those. Next thing for cleaning, I just need to clean this off, the roof. It needs done, and this needs tightened so it'll stay up too. Otherwise, it's a great car, other than that little stuff. There's, of course, the seats and stuff like that are kind of grody. We're going to be putting the light bar on. We're going to get a light bar, a front push bar. We need to fix the trim on there. Besides that, honestly, there's a couple bumper cracks. This bumper right here is cracked. The front bumper is barely hanging on. And it's getting wrapped. Now, as you guys can see, this is the wrap color of choice. It is an OD green, matte, not metallic. This, in fact, is actually eBay wrap. Hi. This is eBay wrap. And as you can see, this is why it is eBay. It is peeling there. Not peeling, but it cracked. Didn't even make it the full bout. There's some weirdness going on here. And then, yeah, this was installing it. It barely even hung on to its life. Honestly, it's pretty sticky still underneath there, but it barely hung on. I'm surprised this hasn't started peeling up more. But the difference between eBay wrap and not eBay wrap was 100%. There was a huge difference. I just wrapped my silence hood the other day, and it was quite a bit easier compared to using this eBay wrap. This eBay wrap just doesn't cut right, doesn't lay down right. It just doesn't work out for me. I'm gonna end up peeling this off right now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to wet apply the eBay wrap and see if it helps. If I can wet apply it, then maybe it'll go a little better. Maybe we can try doing some other little things like the hood again. For only 30 bucks to do enough to do a fender, a hood, and that's pretty good. I know this is made to be a DIY cheap car. That's why I got it. I wasn't planning on spending a lot of money on it. Obviously, customers getting vinyl wrap, I'm gonna go 3M, Vivid, R Vinyl, Avery, good companies like that, whatever they want. This is the Miata. I mean, it's a Mazda, but the Miata, I did the cheapest paint job that I could do, and it came out beautiful. A couple little defects, it came out absolutely perfect with the gray. This, I wanted to do a wrap on. I don't want to have to body prep and do this whole car. So I wanted to see how cheap I could do wrap. Is there a wrap alternative to the cheap paint job? So the cheap paint job on the Mazda, cheap wrap job on the Tribute. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing for that. The Mazda that's out under the car cover out there, it has quite a bit left to do. The front pop-up headlight randomly stopped working. The AFR gauge randomly stopped working. It still needs tuned, so there's 3, and the front bumper needs put on. It's got a boost leak out the exhaust manifold still, from turbo to exhaust manifold, and I really need to figure out the intercooler piping, but otherwise, that is it. After all of that, that is all that's left to be done. An exhaust leak, an intercooler. The intercooler, it's fine. It just needs to be mounted a little better with the tubing so I can be a lot more comfortable. It's comfortable. But for absolute need done before driving it, we got a boost leak, the AFR gauge needs fixed, and that's it really. The pop-up headlight needs to be done for comfortability. The intercooler needs to be kind of reworked a little bit. I mean, it's a universal one that I got working, so the roll bar needs to be finished, but it is mounted right now, so it would save my life. It's just not completely finished. And it just needs a few other little things. Needs to make a I made a front, I have some pictures. I need a front floor mat for the driver's side out of kind of the same thing. Went to Lowe's and grabbed a fabric gray mat, and it's in there. If I could uncover it, then I would. We'll do an in detail video with me showing you guys things next, but this is the Mazda Tribute day. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to probably start mapping up. I've got some cardboard over there that I can use. I'm gonna start mapping up a bracket to to mount that light bar. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is just come straight off from right here, straight up, over, and then up again, and it should hold just fine. Actually, it should be a very simple design. So I should be able to just do that, and then I can just mount it underneath the trim here. I should be able to, at least. I'm not 100% sure on that. This should come up and off. I should be able to cut so that it'll still have its sealing factors. Maybe take away from this dent a little bit, because I want it to be up and out in front instead of all the way back here. It's just gonna look stupid. Up and out in front, and it needs to be big enough because this is just a universal kind of 42 incher, I think. It's not quite big enough to go across the side, and honestly, they don't make anything that really goes across the side of this car very well. So I've gotta make up some ground. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. I'm gonna do that. Probably wire up my junkyard exhaust cutout. That is an electric throttle body that I have wired and figured out the wiring to make a switch. So from 12 volt, all I gotta do is plug this end in and then plug that into that switch, the reverse polarity switch, and give it power to that switch. And then when I click the switch one way, it'll close, flip the switch the other way, it will open. Just like that, boys. So this is just the pigtail that I made. I'm gonna cut those ends off and actually make a really good connection. If I don't bring the connection into the car a little bit, but I'm gonna have to raise the car up and do some wiring underneath the car. I've never wired from the outside of the car underneath it up to the cab, so it should be interesting. So we've got some wiring to do. For the light bar, we have to make a center console, that upper console. So I'm also gonna use that cardboard to make a design template. It's fairly simple. It's just a curve here and then a straight, and then I should be able to curve a little there. But I think it'll look really nice. Plus it'll mount back in the back and in the front, so I'll have 2 mount points. Once I get the sides done, I can pretty much do whatever I want with the center. But I need a jigsaw, so that's the problem. I need a jigsaw, wood, I need some stuff. So wish me luck, guys.